So I'm joined this evening by Lindsay Metter, who lives here in Las Vegas and who does a lot of social media marketing as a matter of course. She is a freelance social media expert and lives in Las Vegas. Good to see you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Lindsay and I have been trading emails back and forth for the last few days, and I had just posed her the question, would you be willing to answer a few questions about LinkedIn for my blog viewers and listeners? And she agreed readily. So I sent her a few questions to let her know where I was kind of heading with this, but we want to just have a quick conversation about how to maximize your exposure and your use of LinkedIn. And one of the things that I think people overlook, Lindsay, is they forget to flesh out their profile. So what's important there?
I would say when you first start getting on LinkedIn, you want to fill out your profile. Just some basic things. You want to add a profile photo, of course, your name, your job title, company, the area that you live in, your industry, as well as all the information in the top box, which is your website for your company or your job, your Twitter handle, if you are connected on Twitter, because that's just another way to get exposure, connecting Twitter so that it posts to your LinkedIn profile, and then customize your URL on the public profile so that it's the LinkedIn.com URL plus your name, and then a quick summary on your specializations or your job or your company, and then your current position. So those are the basics, but then LinkedIn will walk you through completing your profile from start to finish, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. They've added that recently. They actually will prompt you for things that will add to your profile. And some people believe that you should try to pack your profile with the right SEO terms. Do you support that idea?
Yes, I do. Definitely, LinkedIn is good for the search terms, and based on like your skills or specialties, you want to pick the right words for your industry because it does make it easier for people to find you if they're looking for maybe someone in that field. So definitely you want to use keywords, but that will probably come naturally when you're filling out your profile anyway. So, But it's a good thing to keep in mind.
Right. And I know LinkedIn will also glean names from your email server, if you let them, and will actually start sending out invitations to those people automatically. It's a great service, but is that something, you would want to do? Do you want to just use up all your, what do you get, 5,000 invitations for the free subscription?
Yeah, I think that it's good in the beginning when you're first starting out and you're trying to build your network to search for connections through your email. But after you have the network, then I would just search for connections organically. But I think there's nothing wrong with searching for connections through your email when you first get on LinkedIn, so you're trying to build a network.
Yeah. Also, there's a spot on your profile page for you to show recommendations, or that people will write recommendations for you. And I take it LinkedIn counts this as pretty important. But the odd thing to me, Lindsay, is I'll get invitations from people who I don't even know to write a recommendation for them. And I don't like doing that. I only write recommendations for people I really know. Wouldn't you say that's the wise thing to do?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that is a little odd, to be honest. Getting a recommendation from someone on LinkedIn is like asking an employer for a job reference. So it would be from someone that knows you pretty well and knows what you're capable of. So you definitely want to ask for recommendations to people that you're close to and vice versa. You wouldn't want to do that just to anyone.
I often mention when people ask, where does LinkedIn fit in the social media circle? I always say that LinkedIn is kind of the serious sibling of the social media family because it is a professional business site. So if you're a freelancer and you are the business, what should be your overall approach to LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is great for any industry. It is a professional network, but there are all different types of businesses online. It's great for entrepreneurs. It's great for freelancers because no matter what industry you're in, you're creating what I call an online work resume, and you can network with people online. So whatever industry that you're in, people can find you and they can see your expertise and your work history and everything. So I really don't think that it's just for job hunters, job seekers. I think it's for anyone really who's in any type of industry.
Let's talk about LinkedIn groups. I happen to think they're pretty important to your presence on LinkedIn. How do you decide which groups to join?
Well, you can do a search. The search engine is very good on LinkedIn, so whatever you're searching for in whatever industry, I would do a search and just kind of check a couple of them out. But groups are definitely good to join on LinkedIn because they are of a professional nature. You're not going to see too many people that are unprofessional or spamming like maybe on some other social media sites. A lot of professionals take those groups very seriously and they're respectful in there. So you can establish relationships, you can offer expertise in the group and learn from other people too. So groups are really great to join on LinkedIn. They're a way where you can network with people on LinkedIn and get to know people.
Yeah. I'm moving right through some topics here. Stop me if I'm going too fast, Lindsay. But I want to talk about.
No, it's fine.
I want to talk about what I think is the strongest tool in the toolkit with LinkedIn, and that is their incredible search abilities. Do you use those, and how so?
The people and the job search categories have advanced features on there, so you can look up anyone based on location, industry. It's very specific.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm going to jump to a question that I had posed to you earlier, that the search function certainly seems to me to be something you'd want to use because in voiceover, we frequently will approach a possible prospective client with a cold call, but I hate that term. That cold call just sounds so stark. So I like to do the searches on, say there's an audio studio, and I got wind of it, I got their name, and I look them up on LinkedIn, and all of a sudden my cold call becomes a warm call. And to me, that's a powerful tool that LinkedIn offers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that is what social media is good for, and LinkedIn especially, because it is a professional network. So if people are going to take the time out to create a detailed profile on LinkedIn, they're going to be taking what they do seriously. Well, most people, anyways.
I get approached a lot from LinkedIn people that I don't know, and they're trying to sell something or get attention for their cause or build some business. And I appreciate that they're reaching out. I appreciate an enterprising person, but so much of it seems like it doesn't apply to me. If it's a real estate guy or if it's someone who's in IT and they're just trying to get me to come to their website. What do you do with all those? Is that something that I should be doing? Should I be sending out mass emails?
Yes and no. I think that the email feature is great on LinkedIn, but you have to target your audience. So, depending on what you're sending to a certain group of people, then, it's good or bad. But that is the nice thing about the event feature and the email feature on LinkedIn is that you can compose a message, you can send someone your event through LinkedIn, and it could be very targeted to the industry and then the location that you're into. So it's very easy, like once you select those two areas to send your message to a targeted group of people. And then it's even easier to go down the whole list and go through each one and really customize the message to a certain group, certain people. You
live in Las Vegas, and you're a freelancer. You market your services as a social media marketing pro.
Yes.
When you send out an email, does it go just to Las Vegas people, or are you reaching out beyond that geography?
It depends on what it is. If I'm sending out, let's say, a social media webinar invite, I'll probably send it to everyone in Las Vegas, and I'll look over the list too to make sure that maybe there are some people on the list that I know wouldn't apply to. They wouldn't be interested in it. So I do customize the list, and I see who I'm sending it out to. But if it's maybe a certain event for a client or something, let's say based on the fitness industry, then I would look up the health professionals in my group. So I do try to make it as specific as possible, so I'm not annoying people. However, I can't completely shut out everyone out, I guess.
Yeah. So you do handpick. I mean, you manually make up a list, and you spend some time thinking about what's the best value of this list. I mean, who should be on this list, and who should I probably leave off?
Yes, I do think about it. I think it's important because if you don't think about it, people are going to get emails and they might get annoyed. So I mean, I do spend some time thinking about it, and I think that those people are probably looking for what I have to offer, and they're going to see more value in it instead of being annoyed by it and thinking it's spam.
You and I exchanged emails about this concept of paying it forward. I think it's pretty important to offer something totally free that has real value to your possible audience, to show them that you're in good faith, that you mean well, and that you are a repository of information that they might tap into. You give something freely right up front. It has real value. And then they understand, first of all, that you're sincere, and secondly, that, boy, there must be more here. I'd like to know more. Would you agree that's a good way to approach most social media platforms?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime that you can offer value by giving someone something that shows that you're an expert in your field is a good way to go. There are some apps on the LinkedIn profile that you can download PDFs. I've seen a couple professionals put that on their LinkedIn site. Not that many, but I've seen a few that offer like a free ebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice when you go to the profile and they have something offered and check them out and everything. So yeah, anytime you can offer a free gift is the best way to go.
I should tell people listening that Lindsay is a high-profile marketer here in Las Vegas, and I think probably elsewhere too. I see your stuff a lot. You're on Facebook and you're on Twitter. What do you think is the question about LinkedIn that people most ask when you hold your seminars? What are people confused about with LinkedIn?
A lot of people don't get it, and they're normally just bored by it. They don't see a lot of activity like you do on Facebook and Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I call noise. A lot of times you just see, there's a lot of interaction. Sometimes people overwhelmed. But I always tell people LinkedIn is good for the reason that you don't see a lot of activity. It is more private. It is more closed, but that also means that people that are on there are professional and they take what they do seriously. It's still a social network, so you can still meet people online and make connections, but you're not going to see a lot of traffic. You're not going to see a lot of noise. So you can do a search for someone or people find you. It's more selective, and you're building a more solid professional network. Most of the people that I talk to, they either don't fill out their profile, they're not connecting with people, their profile just stays static, so nothing really comes out of it. But once you start making connections and people find you, I mean, I think people do see the value that they can build a network on here just as easily as any other social media site and send out messages. You can send out emails on here as well and market yourself coming more from a professional standpoint instead of quick social media site.
Mm-hmm. What am I not asking, Lindsay? What do you think is important about LinkedIn that people often overlook or that people are just not taking advantage of?
One thing I think maybe is sending out events or emails to like an event they're having or maybe a product or service to the right people. Because I get a lot of messages from people from LinkedIn that are trying to sell me something, and it either doesn't apply to me or I'm not interested at all. But I think that it can be very powerful if you are sending someone event invites or something about your business through email, if it's composed the right way and it's sent to the right people. I think if you take the time out to do that and the content is good, people will look at that in their inbox. And also groups, too. If you have a solid group, I have a group on LinkedIn which only has about 100 members, but it is hard to get the members in the group. But once you get members in your group on LinkedIn, it's a really quality group. And then the updates through the group go to the email as well. So email and LinkedIn are connected, and that can be really powerful. However, a lot of people, they get on LinkedIn and they don't spend time in groups, they don't look at groups, or they don't send out any, messages or event invites. And I think if they were just a little more active on LinkedIn, they would see more of the benefit. But a lot of people just set up a profile and they just, leave it there. And that's okay. I mean, most people are not going to be as active on LinkedIn as they are, let's say, on Facebook or Twitter, but LinkedIn can be very powerful if used once in a while.
Lindsay, wonderful answers. Thank you so much. Please tell us your website address again.
It's www.bluelunamarketing.com. And if you sign up for my newsletter, I offer a free ebook on Facebook timeline.
See, paying it forward. There you go. Free stuff right off the bat from Lindsay Metter, a social media marketing pro. So gracious of you to come on and spend some time with me answering my dumb questions tonight, Lindsay. I really appreciate it.
Oh, they're not dumb. Thank you so much.
I just think it's important people understand that LinkedIn has its own flavor. It's not Facebook, it's not Twitter, but it has its own strengths, and I think you really pointed out some of those today.
Thank you.
Thank you.